everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a card using the Kaleidoscope embossing folder along with the Sending Hugs thin cut. So this is the thin cut, and then this is the embossing folder. It's got some really pretty designs in it. I'm also going to use Harbour glitter paper, some of the Wonderland pattern paper, and Harbour cardstock. So I'm going to start out by cutting my card base. This is going to be a regular A2 size card. So I'm cutting this at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I'm going to layer in this piece of Wonderland pattern paper. And I'm going to cut this just a smidge smaller. I want that Harbour base to be just a tiny little border. So I'm cutting this at 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I have that teensy tiny border. And then I'm going to layer in another piece of Harbour, and I'm cutting that at 3 7/8 by 4 7/8, so I can see a larger border of that Wonderland paper. I'm trimming this down just a little bit because I'm figuring out exactly where I want it to be. So the final size is 3 7/8 by 4 7/8. And then I'm going to layer in my piece of white daisy, and I'm going to cut that at 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. So again, it will have that teensy tiny border of Harbour around it to make it pop. Okay, so now I'm going to cut another piece of white daisy at 4 by 3 just so that I can emboss just that one design at the top of the folder that kind of looks like a snowflake. So now I'm strategically placing my white daisy cardstock in my embossing folder because I want those specific designs to be embossed. So I've got that snowflake image kind of up in the left corner there. And I want to make sure that my Sending Hugs is going to fit. And then I'm just going to layer in that other piece of white daisy. So I'm going to emboss both pieces at the same time. Okay. So I'll run that through. So now I have a whole piece that's embossed, and then I'm going to use that snowflake design later on, you'll see. Okay, so now I have a piece of this Harbour glitter paper, and I've layered it with double-sided adhesive. So I'm making a sticker here. So I'm going to use my Sending Hugs die and run that through. And if you haven't seen this Harbour paper in real life, it is gorgeous. It's just, the camera doesn't pick up on all of the different colors and how really pretty it is. So I encourage you to check it out. So now I'm going to take this smaller piece and I'm going to ink up this design. It kind of looks like a snowflake. And I'm using a blending brush and glacier ink, and I'm just going to ink up that section. And then the design, the ink is bringing the design out so you can see it now. And then I'm just going to clean off my brush with a microfiber cleaning cloth. And then I'm going to layer in some Harbour ink, focusing on the center and just lightly brushing out towards the edges. Okay. And I'm going to fussy cut everything out, just going along those lines of that particular image. So I'll just trim this out, and then I have my snowflake. Okay, so now we're ready to start building our card. I'm going to layer everything up and make sure I like what I'm looking at. And that inked piece I'm going to layer on top of the same shape that's embossed on the white daisy. So I'm going to use an A2 card base and layer in this first piece of Harbour, and I'm using the Tombow Mono Air adhesive. You can get this from Close to My Heart, and it's a fantastic adhesive. It's really easy to work with, so I encourage you to give it a try. And then I'll layer in that piece of Wonderland, And instead of using a tape runner on the embossed piece, because I don't want to press out any of the embossing, I'm going to use a liquid glue. So you can use the aqua, or this one's super sticky. It's the white glue from Tombow. I'm going to layer that on that piece of Harbour. Okay, so now I have a piece of craft foam. It's thin craft foam, and I've just cut this a little bit smaller than my panel, and I'm going to layer that in so that I can pop this whole panel up. Okay, so I'll place that down with a border of the Wonderland around it, and then I'm going to add this snowflake inked image, and I'm going to glue that down and place it exactly in the same place that it's embossed on that white daisy panel. So layering it up like that gives it just a little more definition and texture. Okay, so we'll get that glued down, and then I'm going to add my sending hugs. Now I cut this out and I had layered it with double-sided tape, so it's basically a giant sticker now. So I'm going to layer that in on my card. Don't forget the dot on your eye. And now we need a little more bling and sparkle, so I'm going to use a shimmer brush in the center of this snowflake, and then I'll add some clear shimmer brush. The first one was mint, and then I'll add some clear shimmer over where the glacier ink was placed. Okay, we have some shimmer added. Get that all blended in. And now I'm going to add some of these holographic snowflake sequins. These are iridescent and my new favorite product to work with. They take on all different colors and they're just so cool looking. So I'm going to scatter a whole bunch of those around my card front and glue those down with aqua glue. And then for the last step, I'm going to add a clear sparkle right in the center of my snowflake on top of that other snowflake, just for some more layered bling. And there's my card. And here are some close-up shots. Turned out so pretty, I think. So all of these supplies are currently available in my online store. I'll make a list with links in the description below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, and then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And thanks for watching.